Hey, what up, crew? Today we are going to be reviewing the peanut butter burger from Sonic's. So grab your tinfoil hats because you never know when the government is watching, and let's get into it. But before we do, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your viewership and all that. And yeah, so let's get into it. I am a personal believer. This is a peanut butter burger from Sonic. We'll open it. Gotta get that. All right, so you can see the peanut butter like by this. I personally think this is gonna taste really good because I'm a big fan of peanut butter, and I don't know, like, it's such a weird combination, but I think it's gonna work. I'm hoping it's gonna work. Yeah, my prediction, I think this is gonna be a secret 8 out of 10, and I'm gonna end up loving it. Let's try to get a bite with a lot of the peanut butter. One for the thumbnail. All right, so. It's interesting. I love peanut butter, so it's good, but I don't think it like amplifies the burger. You know, so they had a double, but I just thought getting the single one would be more would be better for the taste, to really get like a thought about it, because like if you have two patties, it might overpower. You might not be able to taste the peanut butter and all that. So yeah. I love peanut butter. Yeah, let's take one more bite. The peanut butter and the onions, it's a weird combination because like the onions are super savory and like caramelized along with the peanut butter. I can't tell whether or not it's bad or good though. I'd say, honestly, I'd give that an 8 out of 10. Like, I feel like this is like weird drunk food, or like, I feel like if you're pregnant, you might be craving that, want to try that. Or like, I don't personally smoke, but if you're like a stoner or something, that might be up your alley, like for the munchies, or even drunk food. It's a unique combination. And yeah, I had my car running. I hope that doesn't overpower the sound of the video. But yeah, I'd have to say I'd give that an 8 out of 10. I think the onions and the peanut butter give a different kind of flavor. Like, they kind of blend in together, and it makes a really unique flavor that you might not get anywhere else. I never would have thought like caramelized onions into peanut butter would taste good. It's different, I think, for a specific kind of person. You'd have to be a specific kind of guy to enjoy that, guy or girl. Yeah, talking about peanut butter though makes me think of PB&J. I'm thinking about PB&J. It made me think about what I was thinking about at work today. And like peanut butter and jelly, like peanut butter is the guys, jelly is the females. I was thinking about modern feminism and how like ridiculous it is to me, but like obviously it started for a reason. And I think it's because men really let down women in the last couple generations. Just Like, would there be a need for, would women be disgusted with the thought of having a family or being a wife if they hadn't grown up in a household where like they had a mom and a dad, and like it was traditional, and the dad mistreated the mom, was you know, just mistreated her, didn't treat her right, kind of had like this passive aggressive tone like a lot of men do? Would women have the need for abortions if men were willing to step up and be a father? You know, even if you use the excuse like oh, we don't have enough money, or I'm not ready and all that. Like, if you were ready to get your willy wet, you should be ready to support the person that got your willy wet, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I was also thinking, because I was like, oh, feminism, at least the extreme ones you see on the internet, like it's ridiculous. However, you can't judge people because you have to see it on their point of view, like what they see, what they don't want, things like that. Like a young lady that grew up with both parents, and the father mistreated a mother even though she was doing the best that she could, or a father walking away from a family entirely, and things like that. Like, it's really that men haven't really been stepping up. Like, we judge and do all these things, but like men, a lot of men are addicted to corn, and I'm not going to use the actual word because I want to be monetized eventually, you know what I'm saying? But we objectify women a lot. Like, it's normal in our culture to do that. Like, I feel like I've heard from almost every single one of my friends, you should test the car out, take it for a test drive before you buy it. Which, like, that is so objectifying. Like, you're using a woman before, like, you get married and things like that. There's no sacrificial love in society now, and I think it's mostly because of the corn industry. I think it's because a lot of Hollywood sells the spicy stuff, and like a lot of movies and things. Everything is so spicitized, you know? And maybe we just need a palate cleanser, get that out of our mouth, like, and see things as a little more wholesome. Start treating women like protectors and providers. We need to be protectors and providers and fulfilling that role. And a lot of men want to. However, I think a lot of men are more obsessed with protecting their ego than they are of like their woman, you know? Like my stepfather, he would, like, if my mom wasn't listening and he was like being a douche, like, he'd elevate the aggravation to physical threat. He'd make her flinch, and then eventually he would hit her when I got out of the house, and things like that. And like, I just think, like, so many men, like, we have not grown up to be men. Like, we want to be protectors and providers, but we do not take on that role at all, because we want to protect and provide for our egos and for ourselves. It's crazy, you know? But like, we got to step up and be the peanut butter to our jellies. And to make a whole family, it takes a little bit of milk to put down that peanut butter and jelly, you know what I'm saying? And then a baby's born. But yeah, I was just thinking about that, because like, I feel like so many videos and reactions, like making fun of women. I do think dating culture is cancer. I don't think you should date around, sleep with a bunch of different people. I think that catches up to you. There's like soul ties, and you are going to be miserable, and you're not going to like yourself. We're made for one partner. I also just, I don't even like the thought of being naked with like another person. It's like disgusting. Like, why would I want to do that? Why would you want to do that? Like, don't you want to just have a person that's chill with you, accepts you for you, and things like that? Why do you want to go sleep with all these women, like, feed your ego? It's crazy. This burger is pretty bussin' though, man. It's hitting pretty good. I'm making a mess. Pretty soon, next video, I'm gonna be covered in ants. If I don't clean up my car. I'm like, today's the ant review, and starts eating ants off my body. No. Yeah. So there were tater tots. I wonder if there's a tater tot in here. But I got hungry and ate them all. Oh, there's a single tater tot. We'll do a tater tot review. Tater tots, I'd say they're 7 out of 10. Like, they taste like the tater tots you can get at like Walmart, and got a right amount of salt. They're a little greasy for my liking, but they're tater tots. And speaking about like how toxic I think modern feminism is, there's also like modern masculinity, and we define masculinity in our culture by how many women you can sleep with, how strong you are, and things like that. And the way I'm starting to see masculinity is just protecting, providing, trying to be selfless and doing the right thing. I do think you need the capacity to be a protector. You have to have the capacity to be aggressive and have the capacity to be violent. But there's not, I mean, how many instances is there in our society where you have to do that? I think you should know how to throw at least a jab, throw a couple punches. I think you should know how to grapple and all that. I think you should lift weights and take care of your health. I think our society as a whole would be a lot better if everybody just exercised, ate right, and just did the right thing. But obviously it's not a perfect world. Everybody wants to do all that. But men, like, modern masculinity is like beta male stuff. Like, going back to my stepfather, like, men, like, guys like that, he's a vet, and like, oh dude, I'm the man. You're not a man until you kill somebody. That's what he used to tell me, and that's what I used to believe. And but then you grow up and like bringing it into biblical sense. No, you have, if you've seen Vinland Saga, I have no enemies. Not a single person on this earth deserves to lose their life. Obviously, as a protector, you have to be capable. If someone's coming to attack like my wife and kids, you're gonna lose your life. God have mercy on the man that attacks them, because I'm not gonna have the mercy on him. But that's part of your protector and provider role. However, like, you see like beta males, they have this aggression towards women. Like, you get all pumped up, do that, try to make her flinch and like scare her and all that, so she stop arguing and just like agree with him, you know. And yeah, I think that's why the Rothschilds keep paying women not to talk to me. No, but yeah, I think there's like an imbalance, like you see on TikTok, and like a lot of like TikToks, like you see one female post, it's like, men are the worst. But there's no men, it's a bunch of little boys, and then like it's the guys like, women are a bunch of hoes, and like they only want, you have to be over 6 foot, and like all this black pill stuff, you have to be 6 foot, 6-pack, and make 6 figures, which is literally 666. That's the mark of the beast. And that's like modern culture we live in. And there's some women that think like that, and there's a lot of men that think like that too. Like, you need these things to be attractive in the modern like dating market, but like stay out of the dating market to begin with, because you're gonna hurt yourself. Like, if you naturally fall into, like, you grow attracted to someone and like you have adoration and like your personalities match and all that, like you you love being around her, and it's not built upon lust and like corn. Like the thing, take care of your shit first. Corn shows up in your shit, right? But like that's why you don't want to eat corn. It doesn't get digested right. And then you're looking at women like a bunch of objects, and you're not treating them right, you know? And it affects you in the long run, and it'll affect her in the long run. And you want to be a protector and provider. You want to make her feel safe and relaxed. Oh, I was just thinking about that at work. For a lot of men, I'm gonna use a plumber analogy because I don't want to use another cuss word, but all these, unpipe yourself. You know how gay it is? What are you, a lady? You're piping a dude, you're piping yourself. And before you want to go pipe a girl and like do all that, unpipe yourself. Get rid of those problems so she doesn't have to go through that. And if you're already in a relationship, that's fine. Like, don't just break up with her and be like, I'm not ready. But commit. Bite down on your mouthpiece. Put your boots in the dirt and just move forward. Just know what part of you need to work on and just make a difference. And it's like, as a younger man, I used to be, like I'll change and all that, but I didn't. It's so easy to say you're gonna do something and do it and not do it and just keep it as talk. And talk is cheap. Talking is for beta males. Action is for like men. Like, grow up. I mean, this is directed towards myself as well. Like, I'm part of the male species and things like that, you know? Yeah, that burger's pretty good. If you don't unpipe yourself, just think, one day you might have a daughter and like a dude's looking at her wrong, like the way you looked at your partner. Like, who are you to tell her not to at that point? Because you made the same mistakes. But if you were a man that fixed himself and that now you're able to provide your daughter with guidance, and like you can sniff out the rats that are around her, then good. Just grow from that. And same with your son. You don't want your son to follow in your same paths. In the Bible, it talks about generational curses, which is like, oh, my father was an alcoholic, I'm an alcoholic. My father was a womanizer, I'm a womanizer. Which they literally show in DNA. If you come, like, it runs in your genes. If you come from a line of addicts, which I do, you're more likely to become an addict. Have the same bad traits. But I think that's why we grow up with a mother and father, because they also, if they are introspective enough to tell you their faults and tell you where they stumbled, you can grow from that and things like that. I think there's a lot of change that can be made. It's all part of growing up. Like, you're gonna make mistakes. Don't dwell on them. Be like, overstressed about them. Just see the changes that you have to make, and you'll make them. Yeah. I don't know. I saw a review, bro. He said he didn't like the onions and peanut butter, but I don't know. I'm wearing a tinfoil hat, so that might be why I like it. But I like the peanut butter and the onions. It makes a weird combo. It's a very unique. I don't think this is anything to be like, oh, dude, you have to buy it. But I mean, if you like peanut butter, you probably want to go try it. It's very meh, honestly. Maybe the burger's just good, but I give it like an 8 out of 10. 8 burgers out of 10 burgers. And yeah, finish the food. Everybody's just so divided nowadays, man. Now the peanut butter hates the jelly, and the jelly hates the peanut butter. Don't you want a good PB&J? Come on, man. PB&J with a glass of milk? That sounds really good. I'm doing intermittent fasting. This is what I'm breaking my fast with. I feel like I'm gonna feel like garbage in a couple hours. Just crash. Since I'm wearing a tinfoil hat and I ate all the food, it's gone. I have to leave you with a conspiracy theory. And since the theme was PB&J, girls and boys, my modern conspiracy theory is that modern feminism was funded by the Rockefellers or the Rothschilds. I confuse them both. They're both rich families, but they fund this to divide us. Because back then, it was more common to have a father, a mother, like a very like nuclear family. And they funded like our modern textbooks. They also funded like the feminist movement. I forgot what the major figures were. But if there's only one person working and all that, it's only one taxpayer per household. But now that with a mother and father in a household, that's two taxpayers, and the Rothschilds run like the school textbooks and the schools back then. They still do. They fund that all. Now they control the schools, so now they're going to indoctrinate your kids with what they believe. Not what they believe, but what they want you to believe. Because they don't want you to step out of line. They want you to become another taxpayer, or like someone not a high income maker. You're going to be part of the workforce. You're going to be a unit to them, or an asset where you make them money through your labor and things like that. That's my conspiracy theory. It's hard to say if it's even a conspiracy theory because it's probably true. Just before you say F women or forget women, young men, just know that the reason a lot of women are the way they are is because there was a man that hurt them. So, yeah. And I mean, there's probably a lot of young men who are the way they are because a lot of women hurt them, or one woman hurt them and all that. So just try to come from an understanding of why they are the way they are, why culture is the way it is, and things like that. And try to do your best. Just do your best not to make the same mistakes your parents did. Do your best. Just follow God, work out, eat right, and do your thing, man. All right. Peace.